Hi guys, it's Suresh here. Gunaresh. Just gonna start my own channel, so here goes. Basically a fan from Australia, so just been watching a few videos and yeah, just gonna give my views on what's going on. Today's the 25th of February, and it was home game, Arsenal versus Wolves. We got 2-1. It's an interesting game because I guess before the game, I thought it'd be an easy 3 points, a walkover, and I'll be doing a video just saying, like, this was a free hit, and we've got to prepare for the next few games that are going to be a bit more tougher. But turns out the first half was a bit of was a struggle. We were lucky that Wolves were 1-0, and it was a mistake by Gabriel, but I think maybe we could forgive. It happens in any game, but it was a good turnaround second half, and then we did in come on. As soon as obviously Pepe came on, got that goal straight away, and that last minute goal. I guess we did have a lot of chances. We did keep trying. So obviously, so if you keep trying, keep getting in your half, keep pressing, eventually it'll turn out your way. So that's happened today, and we haven't been lucky the last few games. So it's good to have luck turn our way for a change. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna leave some. If you have any comments or any ideas, you can leave that down, and I'm gonna put some links up as for some channels I follow as well. Yeah, and take it from there. And the other thing, I guess, maybe I will have a look at the next few games. So I guess our focus is on the top four and making the Champions League, and the possibility that we have games in hand. We're fifth, and just believe. Yeah, here we go. I haven't worked out the graphics yet. Sorry. So 1 point behind Man U with 2 games in hand. It is looking good, but we have some big games coming up. Um, so there's Watford, which I think we're confident about. Leicester, they have had poor form, but now and then they can surprise us. I don't know. It will need to be. We can't. Yeah, it's not going to be a walkover. We can't think it would be. And Liverpool, obviously, we're the underdogs there. And I mean, if we were, yeah, there's a theory that if we were playing Liverpool's the way we played, would we've come out with a win? But I mean, the attitude is definitely a lot better than before. So this is what I like. And my opinion on Arteta, yeah, look, I'm not nothing personal against him, but he is I guess like the inexperienced manager. But then if you're an experienced manager, but then you're managing players, obviously you haven't earned that respect yet. So players are not obviously gonna be on the same page because they don't know what you're on, what you're all about. And classic examples are of started with Ozil, then Guendouzi, then Torreira, I think, and just recently Aubameyang. And it seems to be players left out for no reason. So Gab Martinelli was left out for a long time. And only now he's Arteta starting to use him. But today Martinelli obviously didn't do much. But no, they're gonna have off days, I guess. The And I guess now we're thinking, okay, you know, Pepe comes on in 10 minutes, gets a goal, but you're not starting him. He was £72 million when he came in. It was under Emery. There is I guess, I don't know, theory or conspiracy theory maybe, that he has issues with players under the Emery regime. I'm not sure, but that's what I heard anyway. And I think he does. I don't know. I'm a bit mixed though. When we play the mid-table teams, the small teams, he does go on the attack with 4-4-2. He, it's like play more aggressively. But suddenly, when there's the big occasions, the important games where we need a win against the big teams, big six teams, it suddenly hangs back. It's suddenly running scared, which you can't really do. And if you're going to be top four, go for Champions League, it's going to be playing against the best teams week in, week out. And you got to have a standard there. So, but I probably won't bang on too much about that because he is here, whether we like it or not. And I mean, if he gets top four, it's just cemented his place for another year. So it's nothing much can do about it. We just sort of stuck. And the other, I guess, annoying thing as well is their transfers. The coming of stories that they're waiting for the right person. The January transfer window finished. They didn't do anything. They couldn't do anything. I say couldn't because they may have had people, they may have had players that wanted to come. Vlahovic was one example. They were keen on him. They offered him. And he went to Juventus. So it's basically not, I guess, our fault that we're trying to throw money or everything at it, but then the players are just not interested to come. And the reason is, could be many reasons, but I think without making top four Champions League and no guarantee of that, then a lot of the top players won't even look at you nowadays. So, I think that's going to be the issue going forward. And if we don't make top four, we are in danger of going on a downhill slide. It could get worse than better. And, even at that stage, I don't know what's going on, but it seems that Arteta has really cozied up to the management, the owners. He's cemented his place in the club. And I don't know. I mean, if it was any other team, if you don't meet your standard or your level, you're basically out. But saying that, just sort of looked back at some of the other clubs, the history of their clubs, and obviously the most successful manager, Fergie, when he came to Man United. But he was a proven manager with his success at Aberdeen. So he had 6 seasons of sort of failure, I guess if you call it, before, getting that inaugural Premier League title. And, rest was history. The same, I guess, I think George Graham was, in our case, I guess, George Graham was a bit different. He came in and he had one season where he built a platform. Then after that, got the title. So we've had pretty much instant success. And even Arsene Wenger, it took him 2 years for that title. And whether people like Wenger and Wenger, I never had anything against Wenger. I kind of blame the Cronkies for that because, I'm probably digressing a lot, but I'll just give my idea on this. That in 2007, in the late 80s to mid 2000s. Um, Probably one of the successful or kind of brighter periods at Arsenal. You could compare it? I mean, it's only second to the most successful period, which is the 30s with Herbert Chapman, George Allison. But I don't know much about what happened there, but I just know the basics. But interesting that the chairman was David Dean, and being an Arsenal fan, wealthy businessman, was invested in the club. He was a fan, so success of the club is not a hobby. It wasn't a hobby for him. He wanted success for the club, and I think maybe the issue was he was sort of um, a bit impressed with the American system, so that's why he was sort of the architect for the Premier League to try to globalize or copy what was happening in America, and maybe that led on to um, getting the Kroenkes interested in Arsenal. The Kroenkes started with a smaller shareholding. It slowly built up, and they eventually took over. But when David Dean was there, he had a scouting system and basically a system where, um, and credit goes to, oh, sorry, I'll just get his name. I shouldn't forget his name. Yeah, I think it's Steve Burdenshaw, who sadly passed away. R.I.P. To Steve Burdenshaw. They went around the whole country to look and find the best young talent, and that's where we picked up in the George Graham years. People like Tony Adams, Michael Thomas, Rocky, um, Paul Davis, Merson. All these guys was were all part of that scouting system that came into the academy, and under it was sort of like a real grueling academy. And then if you made the first team, you basically you proved yourself by that stage. So they were ready for the big league. I mean, they didn't know it, but they were. Um, and I guess David Dean's philosophy was invest in players, invest in your squad. But obviously, the Kroenkes with the American philosophy is like having I guess Highbury was a bit too cozy for them, or they wanted a bigger crowd. It was a business for them. They wanted more bums on seats, more viewers. So they wanted to make it look glossy. So that's the Emirates. It's a glossy magazine, really. It's doesn't really serve any purpose except more capacity, crowd capacity. But to do that, we had to sacrifice um, basically the Invincibles. So we had the Invincibles, and they all broke up after that. I mean, different stage, but that whole team was basically gone after that. And what we replaced them with obviously was not at that level. And ever since, we've been sort of on the downhill track. Um, Maybe now we're seeing glimpses of a youth project happening. I do agree maybe with that, like Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli. Um, but I mean, I guess the danger is that without Champions League, they are going to go to other clubs. Um, why would they stay here, at their age? And, people like Klopp, Pep, at Chelsea, they're all circling around these guys. They're keeping a keen eye on them. They are contacting them. Um, so, that's sort of, I hope that keeps Arteta in check or keeps the squad in check. That, how important this top four Champions League is. Um, I guess the argument is, okay, you make top four, but he can't compete in the Champions League. But I guess my thinking is, if you get top four, you get the funding, you do become a little bit more attractive to get the players. So it does have a flow-on effect after that. Um, but yeah, that was a good win. I'm pretty happy with that. But um, let's hope, like these guys, like they said, treat every game like a cup final. And I did see that in the second half. Like a first half, okay, very lackluster, very. Um, they seem to not know where to go, what to do or anything. But the second half, a combination of Wolves holding back, but us on the attack, getting possession. Uh, and I think that's probably the football that suits it. This squad is a more of attacking football, but let's see. Yeah, thanks. And yeah, be happy if you like, subscribe. But yeah, if you have any comments or anything, please leave it now. Thanks.